In this video, we are looking at making x subjects of the formula. In other words, given an equation, you would have to manipulate that equation and solve to make something in that equation subject of the formula. So given this one, which is normally used in resonant frequency in electricity, Fr is the resonant frequency, L is the value of the inductor, C the value of the capacitor. In this question, it says that you must make L subject of the formula. So pause the video and see if you can do this. So first thing I would want to do is to remove the square root by squaring both sides. Now remember, when squaring both sides, I apply the square to everything within those brackets. So do note that Fr is not two things. It means resonant frequency. It is only one thing. So in other words, that is F, if I can explain it like that. It's the frequency. So the small subscript R means the resonant frequency. So it'll become F squared is equal to 1 squared. 1 squared is still 1. The 2 becomes 4. 2 times 2 is 4. And pi squared. And then obviously the LC will have no square root over it. Now notice that F squared on the left hand side is over 1. Now the question says make L subject of the formula. So all I'm going to do is swap out the L and the F squared. You with me? So the F squared and the L, I'm going to swap them out because that's a numerator and this one is a denominator. And they're on opposite sides of the equal to sign. So all you're going to do is swap those two out. To make sense of why I say swap it out, this means I'm multiplying both sides by L and L. Then the next step, I'm multiplying both sides by 1 over F on both sides. And in effect, it swaps out. When I say 1 over F, I mean 1 over F squared, okay? 1 over F squared. So notice, in effect, I'm multiplying both sides by L over Fr squared. And by so doing, there's going to be a lot of cancellation happening. And as it cancels out, we can now simplify it. Right? And now L is subject of the formula. So do note that middle step is not necessary. It's only for understanding. Okay, on to the next question, 131 of 2024. So in this question, it says make CV the subject of the formula. So first thing I'd want to do is multiply both sides by SV to get rid of SV in the denominator. Or in other words, because I'm dividing by SV, multiply the opposite side by SV, which means the same thing as multiplying both sides by SV. The next step would be to get rid of SV on the right hand side and subtract SV on both sides. Now, this means I moved SV on the right hand side to the left hand side. So the sign changed from plus SV to minus SV. Minus SV. Right? Now, the next step, notice that I see that there's something very common on the left hand side. So SV is a common factor. What will be left in the brackets if I remove SV? So here we got SV times CR is CRSV. Now what must go here in order for me to get SV on the top? So this means SV times 1 will give me SV. So clearly that's a 1 there. Now we are making CV subject of the formula. You can write it out the other way. Right, as simple as that. And then we're going to go to 132. 132's question reads, hence calculate the numerical value of CV if SV is 48 centimeter cubed and the compression ratio is 9,5 is to 1. So SV is 48. The compression ratio is 95. 9,5 is to 1. That means over 1. 9,5 over 1 is the same number. And so all you have to do is plug that into your calculator and get an answer. And your answer there is 408 centimeter cubed. Right, we're now going to go to the other paper, 2023, and complete that resonant frequency calculation. Now, in that question 132, it says, hence, calculate the numerical value of L if C is equal to 0,65 times 10 to the minus 6 farads, and the resonant frequency is 1,59 hertz. So all you have to do is substitute those numbers. So where you see FR, put in 1,59, and then the capacitance is 0,65 times 10 to the minus 6. Then it's a matter of calculator work, and plugging that all into your calculator, you'll get 15414,61, and the unit there is Henry's H. Right, and as long as you put the units in, you're going to get your full marks there. So just for the substitution and the correct answer, 2 marks. Right, next we're looking at binary, question 1.4. All you need is a calculator that can do binary. So now we have the Casio calculator. Notice that it's going to be mode 4 to switch it to binary. So after pressing mode 4, this is what you will see on your calculator. So mode and then number 4. You will get this. Now punch in 24. And then you're going to press log. Now notice above the log button it says bin, B-I-N, binary. And this is what you're going to get. Right, so you're only going to read from that first one. So the very first one that you see, 1, you're going to say 1,1,0,0. That will be your answer. And we write a little 2 to indicate that it's binary. So the small little 2 means binary. So notice here the 24 is definitely a decimal number because it doesn't have the little 10 at the bottom. And 144 is also a decimal number because it doesn't have the little 10 at the bottom. So in the next question, it says 1.5, evaluate 144 divided by 110 binary and leave your answer in a decimal number. So now the easiest thing to do there would be to convert the 110 to a decimal number. You can use your calculator for that also. So press AC first, AC button, and this will bring the calculator here. Then you will punch in 110 into the calculator. So 110 followed by the equal to sign, and this is what you get on the calculator. Right, so it's showing the binary. Now notice there, if you go here, can you see? It says DEC above the X squared button. So you're going to press X squared, and this is going to give you the answer for 110 as a decimal. Notice that the answer is 6. So pressing X squared button, it gives you that answer of 6. Right. Next on the calculator, you will press in shift 93 equal AC, and this brings the calculator right back to default. Right, the calculator is back to normal. Then 144 divided by 6 on your calculator, final answer. And the answer for that question is equal to 24. Right, we'll now go to 2024's paper and answer those questions. So 114, we have 1110 is equal to 14. That's the answer, alright? So if you punch in your calculator, let's see if that is true. So first it is mode 4, and that puts it in decimal automatically. Then press this button here, which will bring it to binary, log button. Then you're going to press 1110 equals. Right? It is now in the screen. Then you're going to press x squared to bring it to decimal. And the answer is 14. As simple as that. The next question says 1110, right, binary times 35. The best thing to do would be to convert the 1110 binary to decimal and write it as 14. So don't forget, shift 93 equals AC brings the calculator back to normal. So 14 times 35 would be 490. So mode 4 on the calculator, pressing mode 4 will bring the calculator to decimals. Punch in 490 equals, and now it will show 490 on the calculator. Then you're going to press in bin, which will be the log button over there, log button. And now our answer starts from the 1. So it's 1, 1, 1, 4 ones, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. Don't forget the little 2. The little 2 means binary. And so here again, it is also 2 marks for 1.5. 1.4 is just 1 mark. So there is a quick 3 marks just to understand how to use the calculator. Anyway, happy learning. We will do question 2 in the next video.